Hey everyone, Prison Meddler here. Um, Back with a album re-rank once again, and I forgot which episode it is, but I'll find out. And it's gonna be a re-rank for Killswitch and Gage. Most of it has changed, but some of it still stay the same. However, but most of it has changed though. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started up with the ranking. All right. Um, Starting up with my least favorite at number 8, we got. Let me look at my list here. Jesus Christ, load up. What the fuck? Hold on, guys. My internet connection's fucking up lately. Um, Alright, here it is. Alright, starting up with my least favorite at number 8, we have the Howard Jones self-titled album. Yeah, I think it's the same. I think I put it as my least favorite last time, and it still is today. This album isn't bad at all, but I think I had to put this as my least favorite. It's mainly because the instrumentation sounded way too simple. Like, it's just really nothing new with this album. But I do like Howard Jones' singing throughout this album, and the songwriting isn't really anything special about this album, but there's plenty of really great songs from there, like Starting Over, what else? Forgotten, Return, I Would Do Anything, and Save Me, and This Is Goodbye. That's just pretty much it, but like I say, it's a very decent album, but it's just really not my favorite by them, so I had to put this as my least favorite Killswitch and Gage album. Alright, next up at number 7, we have Incarnate. Now, this is, like I said, I do think this is a really great album. Many people put this album higher, but this is my second least favorite, mainly because of, I feel like this is really nothing new from their previous album, Disarm the Descent. I just don't see anything new with this album. It's just, not only that, it still sounds, this is like the Jesse Leach version of the Howard Jones self-titled album. I know it's sounded way too radio friendly. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't know. But anyway, I do think, but there are some pretty great songs like Alone I Stand, Hate by Design, Cut Me Loose, Strength of the Mind, Embrace the Journey, You Praised, Quiet Distress, Till the Day, We Carry On, and Ascension, as well as a bonus track, Loyalty. Like I said before, but I do think this is a solid album, but I just had to rate this lower because I just feel like their other materials are better. I am aware that I must have pissed many people off, but it's just my opinion. So my third least favorite will have to be Alive or Just Breathing. The reason why is mainly because I understand it should have like a Ross production, and I'm honestly not a fan of Jesse's clean vocals on this album. It sounded, and it's kind of repetitive. However, I'm just not a fan of his clean singing, even though he did improve a lot though later on. But like I said before, I do think this is a really great. Besides that, I do love the songwriting and the production, and it's just a really great album. And not only that, I'm also not a fan of re-recorded tracks, which is Temple from the Within and Fight in Farah. I'm not a fan of re-recorded songs as well, but like I said before, but it's still an amazing album though. Yeah, my favorite songs in there would be Number Days, Self-Revolution, My Last Serenade, Life to Lifeless, Just Barely Breathing. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoy this album, but others besides the clean vocals and the re-recorded songs, I do think this is a very solid album, and I do understand that many people consider this to be their best, mainly because of its production, but yeah, sorry, this is at number 6 instead of number 1. Alright, next up at number 5, we got their Jesse Leach self-titled album, which is their debut album. This is amazing album for a metalcore debut. Really nothing much to say about it. Yes, this album has very little of clean vocals. Most of it is just pure plain screaming. But then, yeah, this is, I guess this is a really fantastic album. And really nothing much else to say here. Yeah, I do think this is a really great album. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but there's plenty of great songs too, like Temple from the Within, which this song was re-recorded for Life of Just Breathing, as well as Fight in Farah. And Irreversible was also re-recorded for the bonus track The End of Heartache. But yeah, I do think this is a great album from start to finish. That's pretty much I have to say here for this one.
Number 4, we got Disarm the Descent. I think last time I might have ranked it as my third least favorite, but then I started listening to this album much more, and I just really like this album more, mainly because it's much heavier than their modern Killswitch albums, and this album does bring back the return of Jesse Leach, which their last 3 albums has Howard Jones as lead vocals. And even though I'm not a fan of Jesse Lee's clean vocals in his first 2 albums, but his clean vocals in this album improved so much more. Yes, I've heard his Time of Grace album he did with Adam, who is their guitar player, or formerly drums for Killswitch. Yeah, in case you don't know who Times of Grace is, it's similar to Killswitch Engage. It has Jesse Leach on vocals and Adam. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Yes, it's the Adam Killswitch Engage also on guitar, and I don't know if it's their side project, Times of Grace. If you haven't heard it, you should definitely check it out. It's extremely underrated. The only difference is it sounded, it's just more clean vocals and harsh vocals. While Killswitch Engage has half clean vocals and half harsh vocals. But anyway, let's just talk more about Disarm the Descent. I love this album a lot. Every song is just really good. The bonus tracks are amazing too. I just enjoyed this album a whole lot. Definitely their fastest album. Yes, it does have some radio type mainstream sounds, but it's very aggressive. Is this their best album in general? No. I do think this album is better than the Howard Jones self-titled and Incarnate though. But I do think this is a really great album, and if you haven't listened to this album, you should definitely check this album out. I really enjoy this. I do love all songs on this album, so no need to pick my favorite. Alright, number 3, look here. We have their latest album, Atonement, which it came out last year. And I love this album a whole lot. This is one of their best albums in years, and I do think this is the best Jesse Leach Killswitch Engage album, in my personal opinion. I just love this album. It is so much heavier than Disarm the Descent, and I think this is their best album in their 2010s era, in their modern Jesse Leach era. I just really love this album. Like I said, I love all songs on this album. I think the last time whenever I ranked Killswitch Engage, the B-side for Charity wasn't even out yet. Now they're this, and I really love the B-side tracks as well. And I believe this is their second album with guest vocals. It's Howard Jones, who's the one who replaced Jesse Leach whenever he left Killswitch Engage back in 2002 or 2003, I don't remember. But yeah, he formed this Signal Fire, and it's a really great duo. And the Crownless King, which features Chuck Billy from Testament. Which I am planning on doing Testament in the future. I don't know when am I going to do it or not. I just need to re-listen to their discography. But yeah, I love every song in this album. Not one including the B-side for Charity songs. I just really think this is an amazing album. If you haven't checked this album yet, you need to check out this album. This is probably one of the best albums of 2019, in my personal opinion.
Alright, before I go to number 2, I'm just going to say that I apologize for the sound difference of my voice, but you should hear me fine on for how it changes, mainly because of my distance from my microphone or my computer. That's mainly because of that. But still, either way, you should hear me fine. And if it sounds awkward to you, then I apologize. But yeah, let's just move on to number 2. And number 2, let me look here, is going to be The End of Heartache. Now, I think the last time I ranked it, I put it as my favorite. Nowadays, I just had to put it down to my second favorite. This doesn't mean I like this album less, guys, just so you know. But yes, this is a really great album. I enjoyed every single song. Yes, this is the first album with guest vocals. the song "Take This Out," which features Jesse Leach. See, he's a guest vocalist on this album, and then Howard Jones was a guest vocalist on their album came out last year, Atonement. And there's another one called the last track, Hope Is, features Phil Labonte from All That Remains, which I already done an album rank on them if you want to check that out. And yeah, for those, I know y'all want to call me a hypocrite because there's a re-recorded track called Irreversal, but that's just a bonus track, so I let it slide. Yeah, I love all songs from this album, including the bonus track "My Life for Yours." Yes, I do think Irreversal sounds great, but I just prefer the original. I just prefer the original versions instead of the re-recorded versions. That's why I had to put Alive or Just Breathing at number 6, which I already explained before, but right now we're talking about this album. This is their first album with Howard Jones on vocals, as well as their drummer Justin Foley, and their first album with Adam. I can't even say his last name, but this is his first album with him on guitar. Their first 2 albums has him on drums. So yeah, I love this album. This is definitely a metalcore classic. Every song is just a classic. I enjoyed every single song from this album. That's just pretty much all I have to say for this one. So I'm just gonna move on to number 1. Alright, number 1, my favorite Killswitch Engage album is gonna be, nowadays actually, is gonna be As Daylight Dies. I love this album. I thought this is such an amazing album. Every single song is just perfect, and Howard Jones's vocals is amazing in this album. It's like this is probably the best album by him as a vocalist, or anything that Howard Jones does. I just really love this album a lot. This is, in my opinion, I think this is their best album, in my opinion. Yeah, I know it's their most mainstream album, but I'm just a fan of Howard Jones's voice. That's all throughout this album, and instrumentations is amazing as well. I love every song. It's just so melodic and heavy. What else is to say? I just love it. That's all I have to say for this one. And yeah, I think this is their best record for now. Or I'll just say it's just gonna stay that way for a long time, because I don't feel like changing my mind on re-ranking. Alright, so that would be my re-ranking for Killswitch Engage. And what is your rank for Killswitch Engage? Leave me know in the comments. And yes, the next ranking I'm going to do is another re-rank, and it's going to be on Megadeth. And then I'll do Korn, and I am planning on doing an album rank for Judas Priest, but it won't be for a while though. But yes, I'm planning on doing an album rank for Judas Priest, so stay tuned for that. And until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.